afternoon and welcome to Football Italia. This is a poster announcing the death of Milan. It's a necrologio, the traditional Italian notice of bereavement, and yesterday evening here in Parma, these were posted up all over the place as the town gets ready for this afternoon's climactic Parma-Milan game. Have reports of Milan's death been wildly exaggerated? We'll be finding out soon enough. Firstly, though, let me just introduce my companion this afternoon, Liam Brady. Thanks for joining us again. Should be a cracking game.
Absolutely, James, yeah. Emerging side, up-and-coming side, Parma against champions of Italy. Should be a great game.
OK, well, we'll be hearing more from Liam, of course, during the game this afternoon. We'll also be joined by our commentary team, Joe Jordan and Peter Brackley. Firstly, though, let's get some inside information on both of today's squads with Football Italia's fifth man, Kenneth Wolstenholme.
The Milan coach Fabio Capello must be sick of the sight of Parma. Back in March, Faustino Asprilla scored the goal which saw them become the first team to beat Milan in 58 Serie A games. 6 months later, Parma have emerged as Milan's main rivals in the race for this year's championship. And this afternoon, Nevio Scala's side are looking to take another giant step towards wresting Lo Scudetto from the reigning champions' grasp. The current league table tells the story. If Parma can beat Milan today, they become clear leaders of Serie A. Parma's fairy tale rise is one of European football's greatest success stories. After just 3 seasons in Serie A and a prior history which listed 4th place in Serie B as the club's greatest ever achievement, Parma have won both the Coppa Italia and the European Cup Winners' Cup. The architect of this incredible rise is Nevio Scala, a coach whose tactical sophistication and impressive man management has made him many experts' tip for the biggest job in Calcio, coach at the national side. Coincidentally, Italy's current coach, Arrigo Sacchi, enjoyed his first coaching successes with Parma. Scala enjoyed a respectable playing career with both Milan and Inter, but in coaching terms was a relative novice when he joined Parma in 1989. However, he proved an inspired choice, leading the club up to Serie A in his first season in charge. The rest, as they say, is history. However, Scala's efforts would have been as nothing without perhaps the crucial component in Italian football, money. In the close season, the club sponsors, Parmalat, gave Scala the funds he needed to mount a serious title challenge. He invested wisely, and the £5 million spent on Sardinian midfield genius Gianfranco Zola has paid immediate dividends.
Still hasn't retreated fully 10 yards, but Parma will take the free kick. And they score! Zola's on target. This is Zola. That's 2-0. And that's the victory for Parma.
With 7 goals so far, Zola is undoubtedly Parma's man of the moment. But Thomas Brolin, Faustino Asprilla and a rejuvenated Massimo Crippa are all playing their part. Add to that Scala's continuing spending power. Just this month he paid Udinese some £3 million for the versatile Argentinian Nestor Sensini, and Lo Scudetto seems a realistic aim. However, Milan will have plenty to say about that, although they're not looking as impressive as last season. The champions began 1992-93 with 8 straight away wins, including a 2-0 victory in Parma. This season, they've won just twice outside the San Siro. Having said that, Capello's side still only trail Parma at the top on goal difference, and today they'll be looking to put the pretenders in their place. So can Parma win one of the biggest games in their history, or will the champions' greater experience see them through? Find out after the break as we bring you Parma versus Milan live.
Good afternoon, welcome back to the Tardini Stadium here in Parma. Well, you know, history has thrown up some timeless sporting encounters in the past. There's been Ali versus Foreman, there's been Borg versus McEnroe, Giant Haystacks versus Big Daddy. But after this afternoon, we may well be adding Parma versus Milan to that list, because this really does have all the hallmarks of a classic sporting duel. We've got two of the top two football clubs in Europe, the top two clubs currently in Italy, battling for the top spot in Serie A. Naturally enough, with a match of this nature, we have a sold-out Tardini Stadium here behind me, 27,000 the capacity here, and every ticket gone. In fact, this is a calm and sober town by Italian standards, but yesterday morning they were up queuing from 4 a.m. in sub-zero temperatures for the few remaining places. I'm glad to say that the temperature has picked up a little since then. We've got a clear wintry sky around us, a nice sunny afternoon really, and with that sunshine the temperature predicted to hit 5 degrees centigrade, which is sweltering stuff really. It has been a chilly week though. They've kept the pitch in good condition under wraps. When they took off the plastic this morning, we could see that it was in a very fine condition indeed. In fact, the Parma groundsperson told us it was almost perfect, perhaps just a little soft, he reckons. Well, just to rejoin now my guest this afternoon, Liam Brady. Liam, when you played here for Inter some years ago, they were back in the third division this lot, weren't they?
That's right, yeah. They've made tremendous strides as a club. In the middle 80s, they were in the third division, as you say. Since then, they've gone on. They've won the Italian Cup, they've won the European Cup Winners' Cup, and now they find themselves at the top of the league.
And can they take over sole occupancy, if you like, of top position today?
Well, I think they've got every chance. I think the weakness in the Milan side, if there is a weakness, is that they do risk it playing the offside trap. And with someone like Zola in the Parma team, I think he could pass the ball at exactly the right time to unlock this defensive tactic of Milan's.
However, Milan aren't exactly a toothless giant these days, though, are they?
No, they're very quick on the break. Papan, he's scoring goals now. They had a good result in the week against Anderlecht, but that must have taken something out of them. And I'd say Parma, the fresher side, might do it today.
OK, well, we'll be hearing more from Liam at half-time. Right now, though, it's over to the experts who will join our commentary team, Joe Jordan and Peter Brackley.
Thank you, James. Good afternoon to you all, and what finer match then could we offer you from Italy's esteemed Serie A than this enthralling contest? All the ingredients are there for a memorable day, with the refreshingly open, attractive style of Parma pitted against the collective cohesion and solidity of a Milan side that so rarely experiences defeat. Milan, indeed, are the only team to have beaten Parma in this stadium in the last 2.5 terms. And Parma, of course, countered that at the San Siro back in March by ending Milan's phenomenal run of 58 league matches without defeat. With the arrival of the Argentine defender Nestor Sensini from Udinese underlines just how seriously Parma are taking their title challenge. The injury to the Belgian George Grun will keep him out for several months, and coach Nevio Scala simply won't risk any weakening of a well-organised defence for that length of time. Sensini plays in a 3-man central unit at the back, along with Minotti and Apolloni, and Parma's attacking formation includes Brolin the Swede, Zola and Kripa, all in constant support of the Colombian star Asprilla. Still no place for the Italian international Alessandro Melli, but what an option for Scala to have in reserve on the bench. 7 foreigners now then on Milan's books this season. Only 3 can play, of course. Fabio Capello's choice is restricted anyway by injuries to Boban and, of course, Van Basten. Today he selected 2 Frenchmen, Papin and Desailly, who makes only his 2nd appearance for Milan, and also the Dane Brian Laudrup. No Albertini for Milan today, he's suspended, and Marco Simone is out injured. Daniele Massaro comes in to partner Papin up front. And alongside me in the commentary position today is the former Milan striker, Joe Jordan. Joe, it's appetising fare in prospect today.
Yes, good afternoon, Peter. Yes, it is. I think looking at the two teams, we've got two teams with contrasting styles. We've got Milan who are playing with a back 4. As Liam had said earlier, a back 4 that push out and try to play offside. And then we've got Parma who play with really a back 3, a back 5, depending on the circumstances. With Minotti sweeping, and you've got players like Benarivo and Di Chiara pushing on to try and make it 5 in the middle of the park. Two teams in current form, separated by goal difference at the top of the league. Parma, whose home form of late has been exceptional towards the end of last season, and this season they've only, I think, conceded 1 goal at home. So it's going to be quite a task for Milan today.
Really is a fabulous atmosphere in the stadium. Different pedigrees, Parma and Milan. As we see there, the substitutes for Milan today. No outright striker among them, with Simone injured. Asaro, who's normally on the bench, is in the side there. Two teams both cherishing championship ambitions. Milan pursuing their third in a row. And Parma, that's their coach Scala there, daring to believe that 1994 will bring the first ever Scudetto to a city that in football terms really is only just emerging. They've won their last 12 matches at home, Parma. They really are formidable in this stadium, if we can ever get the game started. Liam mentioned there Zola of Parma. He, for me, is going to be a key man today, Joe.
Yes, other than the goals that he's scored, I think he's the leading goal scorer on the Parma team, but there's a lot goes through this player. They've invested a lot of money in him. Each year the Parma have progressed in winning things, the Italian Cup and the Cup Winners' Cup and the position in the league last year. They've invested the money they've earned, and they've got another part to the jigsaw in Zola, and he's reproducing the form that he showed with Napoli, not only in the goals but in the fine touches that he can show just outside the box and setting up players like Asprilla. So he's a very important player.
Zola with 7 goals so far for Parma this season. With Baresi, they're talking with Marcel Desailly, who's come from Marseille to replace Boban, who's injured. So Milan not taking any chances either about being without experienced players and without top quality players, bringing in Desailly at almost a moment's notice. £4 million he cost. And there is Jean-Pierre Papin. It's actually the first time two Frenchmen in Italy have played in the same side. Desailly, the 11th man to come from France to play in Italian football. Papin, who's had his ups and downs with Milan, but nonetheless has an outstanding goal-scoring record. 17 in 30 matches in Serie A. And he had some good chances in the week in the European Cup tie in Anderlecht, but squandered them. Asaro wearing 11 then for Milan today. That's Brian Laudrup. We expect him to operate wide on the right, with Donadoni slotting into a central role, and Udinese, the man at the back of the picture there, on the left-hand side.
You just mentioned there, Peter, about Desailly. It just shows you that both clubs, with Desailly coming in there and Sensini coming in there for Parma, that both clubs mean business. They've been cut down by injuries in both camps, but when they had the opportunity, they brought in these two players, and it's cost them a lot of money. But I think if they can collect the Scudetto this year, it'll be money well spent.
The man in charge today, Piero Ceccarini, 40-year-old from near Tuscany. And he's under instructions to smile a bit more. The head of the Refereeing Association has said he's too serious out there on the field. Looks a bit glum at the moment, doesn't he? Already hearing of a goal elsewhere in Serie A. Piacenza have taken the lead against Foggia. Piacenza 1, Foggia 0. Piovani the scorer. These two teams separated only by goal difference at the top as the mopping up operation gets underway here. Parma and Milan both on 18 points. Sampdoria in third place on 17. Juventus on 16. And come Torino and Inter both in the frame as well. Inter, who are playing tonight at home to Juventus. Sampdoria are at home to Cremonese. Well, this all adds to the excitement of the occasion, but I'm sure the players now will want to get on with it.
Yeah, I think this is the last thing that players will want, especially a player like Desailly, who's just come in. He'll want his career to get started here as quickly as possible. You know, it's the last thing you want is a delay. The atmosphere is such, the tension is immense. The importance of the game is there, and it's the last thing you want is a delay. You want to get into the action, you want to get a touch of the ball, you want to get involved in the game, and to have a delay like this is really, it's a disappointment for them.
Capacity crowd in the stadium around 29,000. The population of Parma is only 160,000, and they've sold 21,000 season tickets. And certainly tickets like gold dust today. Baresi, the experienced head of the Milan side, who's seen it all before, on his first Scudetto 14 years ago with Milan.
I just noticed there, Peter, we're talking about Frankie Baresi, who's one of the oldest players on the field there at 33. I gather he's the only one in the Milan team that's been ever present and started all the games. It just shows you what a great professional he is. He's been at the club for so long, he's won it all, but also shows you how important he is. You know, he must have been playing with Knox. I don't think you can play as many games and is involved in the games without taking Knox, but he hasn't missed a game yet. I think that is an indication of what a good pro he is.
He almost didn't finish the one last weekend. He sustained a head injury after a clash with one of the Napoli players. And he came through okay. He was wearing a bandage, a head bandage for most of the match. Doesn't seem to need that one this afternoon. Another goal, I'm being told, has been scored. Lazio, through Fuser, have taken the lead at home to Genoa. Paul Gascoigne's team back in 9th place. Goal up at home to Genoa, who are currently 12th. I think at last we're ready then for the kick-off. Milan attacking the goal to our right to set the game in motion. Two teams locked together at the top of Serie. Both conceded only 7 this season. Parma have scored 19, Milan 16. Parma with a couple of defeats, and Milan have had their colours lowered just the once. Well, the debris has at last been cleared away. And we're just waiting now for the referee to blow the whistle, and away we go. Laudrup, ball then by young Panucci, who's scored twice in the last 2 games and has been a revelation since coming into the Milan side. Asprilla. This is Zola. Straight away picking out the Colombian, who has tremendous pace. Looking to expose Costa Curta. Lost his footing. Away by Panucci. 4 is Menotti, the captain of Parma. Zorotto to Brolin. Looking out Benarivo. We're going to see a lot of him down this right flank. This time to no avail. As Joe Jordan is saying, it's a vital part of their game, the way the 2 fullbacks push forward, Di Chiara on the left and Benarivo on the right.
Yes, Pierre, those 2 particular players you mentioned, if Parma are going to get any width at all and get to the bottom of the pitch to get the crosses in, these 2 particular players are the ones that are going to do it for them. You've noticed there in Benarivo getting in and being put through, and I think we'll see a lot of that today on both sides.
Here's Baresi for Milan. Desai, who's normally a defender, is given this midfield role for Milan, rather in the style of Frank Rijkaard. Hoping he could do a similar job to the Dutchman, who now, of course, has returned to his home country. Well, early goals elsewhere. A goal for Napoli as well, home to Reggiana. Napoli 1, Reggiana 0. Pecchia, the man who was involved in that collision with Baresi last week, has given Napoli the lead. Papan is the player down injured here. 4 goals in Serie A this season. He's got 4 in Europe as well, Papan. Taking over the mantle of Marco van Basten. And the news of Van Basten is not good this week. It won't now, it will seem anyway, be until March before he can resume training after his long-term injury. This is Alessandro Orlando shaping up for the free kick from Milan. Played forward by Donadoni. Here's Maldini trying to shake off Benarivo. Zorotto strongly into the tackle. Such a busy player, Zorotto, and a vital one too for Parma in the anchor role in midfield. Brolin. The sharp turn, and he was caught then badly by Orlando. That was a rash tackle, and the Parma players very incensed by Orlando's lunge there at Brolin.
Yeah, I think he's caught Brolin across the kneecap there. And I think he's just protecting himself by staying down. I couldn't really see him getting contacted by any other part of Brolin's body there. I think he realises the consequences and he's trying to make the best of it and trying to get out of it.
So, setback maybe for Scala, the coach of Parma. Brolin seems to be okay, and Orlando, in fact, is still down injured. Well, let's get the early impressions of Liam Brady watching from the stands there. Liam, what are your thoughts so far?
Well, Peter, not really. Nothing's really happened. You know, this delay to the match hasn't done it any good. There's been a couple of rash tackles, and neither side has settled down. Asprilla playing up front with Zola just behind them. And as I said earlier on, they'll be looking for Zola to unlock the Milan defence.
Thanks, Liam. Not only an injury to Orlando, a yellow card as well. Just his third start, Orlando, for Milan in Serie A this season, although he's featured in Europe. Getting his chance really with the injury, or rather the suspension to Albertini, and of course the injury to Boban. They also have Aranio out at the moment, Milan. Such as their strength and depth, they have so many players they can just bring in. Apolloni, one of the markers at the back for Parma, as he picked out Di Chiaro. Well, nearly. Di Chiaro, who, like Benarivo on the right, will show plenty of venture down this left flank. This is Asprilla, the Colombian. Over there by Costa Curta, who's having an outstanding season at the back for Milan. Zerato. Well read though by Donadoni. Massaro's flick. Fairly rare start in Serie A this season for Massaro, who's had to settle for a role on the subs bench, with Simone being the first choice. There's Sensini, the Argentine from Udinese. Played in the World Cup final, indeed, for Argentina back in 1990. Zola threading it on, and a foul on Asprilla by Panucci. Wide by Zerato to Sensini. Stick by Kripa. Benarivo, in fact. Here's Papan.
It'll be interesting today, Peter, to see the likes of Papa and Asprilla. Two different types of players, two different characteristics in the way they play. Asprilla is a player who wants to take players on, to get ball played into the space. Papa, contrary to that, he wants the ball in the box. He'll come off, he'll lay it. But his first and foremost thought is to score goals, to get in the box, to let other people create the chances for him. Whereas Asprilla, he can't create the chances for himself and other people. Papan is a player really that feeds off other players, and he's a very clinical finisher.
Minotti to Brolin, the Swede. Stretching out Asprilla. Panucci is with him. This is Kripa, former Napoli player. Now Baresi, coolly away to Costa Curta. Strong challenge, the not fair one. Kripa on Papan. Milan, who didn't concede a single goal in their first 7 games. They haven't been so tight at the back in recent matches, which has certainly given hope for the rest of Serie A. Laudrup. Di Chiara.
I think that delay at the start of the game, as Liam was saying, Peter, has not really helped the flow of the start of the game. It's been a little bit bitty. There's been a lot of I wouldn't say late tackles, but missed-time tackles, and it's not helped the flow of the game at all for either team.
All very tense at the moment. Here's Baresi. Apollonia away for Parma. Arrigo Sacchi, the coach of the Italian national team, was in the crowd today. Former coach of both clubs, of course. He was with Parma for a couple of seasons. And 4 highly successful ones with Milan. Panucci goes to Sai. Play on, says the referee, with Milan in possession. Orlando. Now Baresi. Safely through to Luca Bucci, goalkeeper of Parma, who's regarded as one of the outstanding candidates now for a place in the World Cup squad, behind Pagliuca and Marcagiani. Peruzzi of Juventus would seem to be his biggest rival for the number 3 jersey. Offside against Asprilla, but it was tight, it was close. And Milan will have to watch his lightning speed on the burst. A dangerous game Milan will be playing today, with the likes of Asprilla around. Here's Panucci. Pissarro. Sensini, though, was quick into the tackle. Asprilla. Foul by Baresi.
What we've seen there, Peter, and Asprilla getting pulled up for offside is something that's going to be a very delicate thing today. It's going to be a real touch one way or the other whether it's going to be offside, because the guy's got so much pace. There are players in the middle of the park for Parma who can play with a lot of precision the balls that he'll require. So the timing of the run and the timing of Milan coming out is going to be very important, whether the decision goes one way or the other.
Brian Roy has equalised for Foggia. It's Piacenza 1, Foggia 1. There's Asprilla, out by Baresi. Donadoni got the header on. Down goes Pissarro. Foul by Sensini. No real shape or pattern to the game so far. Orlando. This is Baresi. Good anticipation, though, by Sensini. Desai, slotting it on to his compatriot Papan. Now Orlando. Good work by Benarivo. Favourite for the right back berth in the Italian national team for the World Cup, Benarivo. He's played in the last 3 internationals now. Roland's pass. Forward by Apolloni to Zola. Hasn't really made an impact so far. Desai's pass, seeking out Papan. Di Chiara, with a lovely flick off it by Asprilla. Now Di Chiara. Asprilla's gone into the middle. Tackled by Panucci. A surging run by Di Chiara, and he almost got away then from the young defender. Parma corner, which Zola will go across to take. And in fact, he's given the free kick, the referee. Well, but it's gone. Parma 0, Milan 0. And no problem there for the giant figure of Sebastiano Rossi in the Milan goal. Get those 7 clean sheets back at the start of the season. Zola, who can be so dangerous on the set pieces. Getting his angles wrong this time.
Yeah, I think he was a little bit ambitious on that particular angle that he was taking it from. He has been successful. He's got 7 goals. I don't really know how many of them have come from free kicks, but I would say quite a major part of them have been, I would say, but more direct in that one. I think it would have been better actually setting up for one of his defenders come in and have a header on that one.
That is trade, of course, Zola under the maestro Diego Maradona during his time with Napoli. Here's Sensini, another Argentine. It's all happening in the Piacenza-Foggia match. 3rd goal now. Piacenza 2, Foggia 1. Piacenza back in front for Nate to score the goal. Asprilla. Chiara was bundled over. Again, the referee allowing play to go on. Benotti's pass to Zorotto. Sensini. In the way, though, was Massaro. Parma looking to dictate the play in the early exchanges. Benarivo taking the throw.
I think what we have, as you say, Parma just come into it a little bit. I think they're demonstrating the type of game they play. They make a lot of passes, they keep possession, they're prepared to be patient. And you've got Milan here, they're going to sit. And people like Zarate and Zola, they'll take their time, they'll wait and probe until the moment arrives where they can make a precise pass through to someone like Asprilla. Whereas you've got Milan, who are prepared to just sit there. I would say they play a wee bit more direct, maybe more so than usual when you consider the number of players that they have out, the number of forwards like Van Basten and Simone and Lentini that are out. I would say that even in this short spell you can see that there's a little bit of a pattern emerging, even although that the first 10 minutes was a little bit untidy.
Scala has done such a marvellous job though with Parma, taking them up initially from Serie B and then to success domestically and of course in Europe too. Parma, the holders of the European Cup Winners' Cup, and through the last 8 again. They now have a very difficult game against Ajax to look forward to. Asprilla, played off well by Zola to Brolin. Now Benarivo, again tiny approach play, penetrating approach play too. Asprilla rather. This wouldn't fall for him. Laudrup. Maybe a free kick to Milan. The foul by Zorato. And Di Chiara involved as well.
That was unnecessary there to give that one away, because I think Zorato would have picked up possession from that ball there.
Actually, Di Chiara who committed the offence. Did we see a smile then from the referee? I think we did.
As you say, he's under orders.
Managers will smile sometimes. Zola. But you weren't smiling yesterday, Joe, with your team.
No, I was far from
a bad day for you.
No, I won't be smiling for quite a number of days.
Brolin. Asprilla. Zola will touch off. And good run by Desai. Well, one back though by Apolloni. Rushing tackle by Papa. My word, the tackles are flying in. And the foot was high there. Free kick to Parma. Tapped that with his boot. Almost on the chin then of Cooper. Zola. Here is Cooper. Useful ball into, but far too close to the goalkeeper in the end. They won't foul goalkeeper of Rossi's class. Now Laudrup. Left his man for dead there, Di Chiara. Here's Desai, free header for him. And the offside flag is up against Massaro through the middle. Another goal for Napoli at home to Reggiana. 2-0 they lead now. Daniele Fonseca, Uruguay, getting the second goal for Napoli. Apolloni to Brolin. Buster almost played Massaro into trouble. Benarivo. Apolloni. Now Di Chiara to Apolloni. In for Asprilla. So was Baresi. And he had to be on his guard then. Captain of Milan. Who popped up with a hat-trick on his first full appearance of the season against Torino after he'd returned from World Cup duty with Colombia. Colombia, of course, through to the finals for the second successive time. Zola with the corner. He can get through the debris. Played comfortably, really, by Rossi. Despite the presence there of Minotti, who can be a danger on the corners. Apolloni, and they have to come back quickly enough. The flag was up for offside. Panucci for Milan. This is Baresi. Wide of him, Maldini. Elegantly past the tackle then, Maldini. Papan. Away come Parma on the break. Zola leading the charge. Goes Di Chiara, released though by Panucci. He really has settled in so well in this Milan side. Tassati, in fact, is out injured anyway, but I think he'll struggle to get his place back. Well-timed tackle by Minotti. Another man on the verge, really, of the Italian national team, Minotti. And in the eyes of many experts, one of the favourites to take over from Baresi when he finally decides to call it a day. Di Chiara, outsmarted though by Brian Laudrup.
I think we've seen Milan, Peter, they're just going to sit there. They're going to allow Parma to play as many passes as they want, as long as it's in front of them. They're just going to sit there with their 8 players and leave the 2 up front and try and catch them. They're quite happy to have it that way at the moment.
Almost at the halfway point in the first half. Still no goals. Parma 0, Milan 0. Here is Serie. Again, they've got it right at the back, Milan. Swinging the offside trap. Organised, of course, by Baresi. He's the man in possession now. This is Costa. Fabio Capello, the coach of Milan. So his team held to a goalless draw in midweek in the Champions Cup, the league section. Away to Anderlecht. Of course, they'll still be favourites to go on to the next stage. Such as their high profile in Europe. Right now, not on loan, in fact, from Fiorentina. We're leading the way at Serie B, and if they come back up, I imagine they'll want him back again. Sai's long throw. And the shot got through. From Panucci, scored a spectacular goal against Napoli last weekend, and also was on the score sheet against Inter. Zola's way off. Donadoni. Back to his best in recent weeks, Donadoni. Here's Baresi's pass on from Massaro. Laudrup. Away from Di Chiara, but not from Apolloni. And here is Di Chiara now. To Kripa. Asprilla. Such an exciting player, Asprilla, but they've kept him fairly well shackled so far. Rossi under pressure. And he was the coolest figure around then. Panucci. Out by Serie. Here's Donadoni. Maldini. I think it's karaoke time on the public address, isn't it?
I'm going to try to cheer everyone up.
It's an old James Richardson again, is it? Keep away from that microphone. Laudrup. Good tackle though by Apolloni. Massaro, Papan waiting in the middle. This is Laudrup. He's done well here. Sensini with the clearance. Massaro taking on Apolloni, and he's forced the corner. Luca Bucci at goal for Parma, who's kept 8 clean sheets out of 12 Serie A games this season. Zola, ball clearance though by him, only found Massaro. Rolling. Asprilla now, the counter-attack launched by Parma. Good anticipation though again by Costa Curta, who's grown in stature alongside Baresi at the back for Milan. Crippa to Zarato. And no real opportunities created by either side as yet. Such has been the tightness of the contest so far, Joe.
Yeah, I think so, and I think really that's been down to Milan. I think Milan they've come. They're certainly not going to give anything away. I think a draw away from home would suit them better than it would Parma. Even although Parma are leading in goal difference at the moment, but I think overall they would settle for a draw. Asprilla's not really had the service that he requires to utilise his pace and trickery going forward. But it's early days yet.
Out by Minotti. Baresi was there. Desai. Put it on to Donadoni. Theatrically dives to the ground, but it was clearly a foul. Sensini, who clattered into him. Strong and resolute defender, Sensini. And Parma hoping he'll do the same job for them that he's doing for Udinese. George Grun, of course, a hard man to replace at the back, the Belgian, who's out for several months through injury. They don't give too many goals away, Parma. Certainly not at home. On from Donadoni. Massaro. Donadoni again. They're failing to link with Laudrup. Minotti. Here's Di Chiara. Now Crippa. Crippa with the pass. Excellent 1-2, but no, the flag's up. Di Chiara hadn't timed the run as well as I thought. A lot in it though. Looking across there, I wonder if Baresi have played him on.
Well, if you look at the lanes of the park, the way it's been caught, as far as we could see there, Baresi was playing him on. From that angle anyway.
Laudrup trying to shake off Di Chiara, upcut by Desai. Now Zola to Benarivo. Haven't seen too much of Benarivo so far down that right flank. He's being policed by Orlando. Free kick to Parma. It's now Piacenza 3, Foggia 1. Benezzoli has got the third goal there for Piacenza. So it's all happening in that game. Still no goals there in this one. And the referee has his hands full, keeping a tight rein on matters out there. Sensini. Asprilla. It's great skill by him. Brolin now. Trying to touch it off to Zarato. Here's Papan. Outmaneuvered though by Benarivo. Minotti. Wide of him is Di Chiara. Parma's passing game has so far failed to create a worthwhile chance. Given away then by Asprilla, who's immediately put under pressure.
You're right there talking about Parma's passing game. At this particular moment in time, it suits Milan. It's very predictable. They're coming through the middle. There's no real...
Well, maybe there's something on now. Asprilla. Oh, it was a dreadful finish. Very disappointing.
Other than one or two occasions like that, there's been no real penetration from Parma, and it's the way they're playing is quite suiting Milan. You're just prepared to sit, and hopefully they'll get the break and catch him.
Here's Baresi for Milan. Costa Curta. Donadoni's made the run through the middle here. And cutting out onto the flank. And the free kick taken quickly by Orlando. Donadoni. Oh, good run by Donadoni. Trying the 1-2 with Massaro. It's Asprilla for Parma. What can Zola conjure up here? As Di Chiara in support away to his left. Sliding tackle by Laudrup, which will have to be penalised. Just whip the legs there from underneath Di Chiara. Free kick then to Parma. Let's get the thoughts here of Liam Brady. Liam, what have you made of it so far?
Well, Peter, it seems to be a very tactical game, and neither side are very committed to scoring goals. I think there's obviously a lot of tension involved.
Zola with a cross in, easily dealt with.
There's a good battle going on now on down this side of the pitch here with Di Chiara and Laudrup, and I feel that Di Chiara is getting the better of it. If Zola could only spot him and knock him in behind the full-back, I think there's space there for him to work in.
Thanks, Liam. Here's Laudrup now. This time he's got the better of Di Chiara. That's a bad tackle then by Minotti. That surely will be a caution for the Parma defender. Yellow card indeed for Minotti.
I think we've seen from both teams this particular incident here as an example. They're not going to let anything. If they can prevent something being created in this particular game of great importance, they're going to do so.
It was a pretty awful tackle hit by Minotti on Laudrup, who's still winded. And a chance for Donadoni to set something up for Milan. Desai has come forward and Maldini. Panucci up there as well. Maldini, though, failed to get his header in. Orlando just knocked it away then from Zola. Sampdoria have scored against Cremonese, and it's David Platt who has given Sampdoria the lead. Sam, remember, in third place, a point behind these two at the start of the matches today. Panucci seeking out and finding Papa. Apolloni. Just about to say Parma have played themselves out of trouble, but now they're back in it again. Panucci away from Apolloni. Rolling for Parma, then to Zola. Berlin. It's found Kripa. Challenged by Laudrup. It was then handled by Kripa. And the referee must have given the handball, not the initial, or the foul, the initial challenge by Laudrup. What did you make of that one, Joe?
No, I wouldn't say there was a foul there. I think Kripa was getting just shown down the line there, and it was a 50-50, shoulder to shoulder.
Di Chiara. Beautiful tackle then by Costa Curta. Laudrup. Baresi continued his run, but now he'll check back into defence.
I don't think Franco Baresi will be too happy with that one. He's ran 40 yards. He does what he's marvellous at, is breaking it up and attacking, pushing forward, and trying to be constructive at the other end.
Zola from Asprilla's pass. Still Zola, too many defenders though, but a foul. The only way they could stop him in the end was to bring him down.
Well, this is a very dangerous.
I think of it. Yeah.
It's a very dangerous area here, Pierre. You've got Zola. It's actually perfect for him. It's his distance. It's the type of position he's scored many goals from.
Litter now strewn all over the 6-yard box, and they'll have to clear this first. But it's the kind of situation that Zola in particular relishes. We'll have Brolin and Asprilla there too. But my money here will be on Zola. Parma fans now really lifting their team as Rossi hopes he's got his angles right and the defensive wall is right. Cripper has placed himself in the middle of that wall, along with a couple of teammates as well. Could be interesting. A bit of jostling going on there. Keep your eye on number 10, Zola. It took a deflection and into the grateful arms of Rossi. Could have gone anywhere, that one. Certainly took a nick on the way. Milan survived. Orlando with the throw as Brolin argues with the linesman.
Yeah, I think we see the disappointment in Zola's face there. A player has ability and consistency. He's disappointed he's not done better. He's disappointed he hasn't scored a goal.
Asprilla. It was away from Maldini. Wasn't the best of crosses though. But here's Cripper arriving. Panucci looks so elegant, this young player. But now he's given it away to Di Chiara. Again, Milan closing Parma down so quickly, allowing them no time to dwell on the ball. It goes Minotti, there's an almighty scrap going on. And in steps the referee to hopefully calm things down. It's a real top of the table battle, this one. No quarter asked and none given. Parma free kick when the dust settles. Zerato. Up by Maldini, then Orlando. Here's Desai. Papin went into the back then of Sensini. A yellow card for the Frenchman. Not sure that was quite as bad as it looked, Joe. What did you think?
No, I don't think so. I think he was involved in the incident. It just was showing there when there was 3 or 4 and a bit of a melee, and it's followed up with that one there, and I think the referee's just remembered it and has booked him not only for this but for the previous one.
Well, Capello down on the bench. He's seen his team under a little bit of pressure, but no real penetrating attack so far from Parma.
Yeah, I would say Milan have been under pressure here, but there's been nothing really created. Neither goalkeeper has had a true save to make, has had a true shot put in on. And as far as it's going, Milan, I think, will be the happier.
Cripper. Desai. Panucci took from behind. It's a niggling first half, and it hasn't really flowed so far, one has to say. A lot of bitty fouls. That's the quarter. Here's Zola. Brolin, neat play by him. Asprilla taking on Baresi. And in the end, he's won the corner. Well, his pace would trouble any defender.
I think Frank Baresi showed his quality there. He's one against them, against a player like Asprilla, and he took him out the game.
Zola with a corner. Oh! Well, Rossi suddenly went down then. I mean, I can only presume he was struck by something thrown from behind the goal. As the arguments rage, and you can see Cripper there having a go at the crowd and saying, calm down. Now, oh yes, you can see there, quite clearly struck by an object thrown from behind the goal. He's okay, or is he? Well, it's his shoulder he's just holding on to there. Now Zola can take the corner. Rossi was not underneath it. Minotti arrived at the far post. Can't be easy for goalkeepers to concentrate, Joe, in this kind of atmosphere.
No, especially that little incident at hand before the corner kick was taken. I think Frankie Baresi was having a word with him to get a grip of himself and get his composure back, because the big goalkeeper had just lost it a little bit. And really, that's the last thing you want with a corner coming in like that.
By Apolloni. This is Donadoni for Milan. Now Maldini. Letting it run through for Panucci. There's a Parma player down injured now. As Minotti clears. So well, that was an incident off the ball. I can only presume it was. Didn't see what happened there. I think it's Apolloni, I think, who's down. Meantime, there's a goal for Torino and another goal too for Silenzi, his 10th of the season. Torino leading Lecce, the bottom club, by a goal to nil. Torino 1, Lecce 0. Silenzi with goal number 10 this season. And it's now 3-2, Piacenza against Foggia. And Stroppa, the Italian international, has scored for Foggia. Giovanni Stroppa making it 3-2 in favour of Piacenza still. Meantime, Apolloni is back on his feet, but not looking at all happy. Panucci sportingly returning the ball to Parma and Di Chiara. Zarotto to Zola. Nearing the end of the first half, and hardly a chance really worthy of the name created by either side. Donadoni, Panucci, Apolloni back in the fray, seems to be okay. This is Sensini. Sampdoria 1, Cremonese 1. Cremonese have equalised, and it's the Argentine Dazzotti who has scored for them. Milan throw. Massaro couldn't reach it. Apolloni to Zarotto, now Brolin. Ahead of him is Asprilla, and Baresi hooked it clear, taking no risks there, Baresi, as Rossi came out and Asprilla was marauding through the middle. Baresi the presence of mind to steer the ball away. Read that situation so well, Baresi. Panucci's throw, and off Di Chiara into the path of Minotti. Donadoni was pulled back then by Minotti, who initially had given the ball away. Minotti, who's already been cautioned.
Yeah, he's taking a chance there, but that's just another example of the way that the first half has gone. There's been a lot of petty little free kicks by both teams, just stopping the flow of the game, just stopping the rhythm, and really preventing anybody to get any creative moves.
Maldini winning that aerial duel as we move into the last minute of the first half. Free kick to Parma. Di Chiara. Asprilla brings it back off Papan. It goes Massaro. They fight so hard, Milan, to regain possession. And they're making life very difficult for Parma today. We certainly haven't seen the free-flowing football we've come to expect from Parma this season. And that really is all down to Milan. We're into injury time. Donadoni. Papan was lurking. Orlando. Here's Maldini. Milan looking for a strong finish to the half. But it's Benarivo for Parma. Orlando into the path of Zorato. Berlin. They're going to keep that in. Benarivo. Won by Zola. Again, fine anticipation by Baresi. There's been a tower of strength at the back for Milan alongside Costa Curta. Donadoni, who's working so hard. Costa Curta to Panucci. Desai. Goes Papan with Minotti, and Sensini to hoist it clear. He's only found Donadoni. Looks full of confidence, Donadoni. Not back his international place, and he seems now to be a regular in the Milan team again. Although with their resources, you never know. Foul by Desai in the closing seconds of the first half. There will be a bit of injury time to add on. Another opportunity then, maybe, for Zola to spring something for Parma. They're leaving it this time for Minotti. Berlin and Zola have positioned themselves in the wall. And the wall almost did its job. Apolloni. This is Kripa. No real chance there for Asprilla. Donadoni. Maldini. Read by Minotti. Here's Zola. Looking to probe at Milan again. Brushed aside by Massaro. And the referee has given the free kick to the chagrin of Massaro, who felt he'd gone for that ball with the right intentions. The referee thought otherwise. Di Chiara. It's lovely skill then by Di Chiara. Baresi got it clear. Well, there's the half-time whistle. And certainly in terms of chances, a disappointing first half. The two teams really have want to cancel each other out. And at half-time, in the Ennio Tardini Stadium in Parma, it's Parma 0, Milan 0. We'll be back after the break.
Welcome back to the Tardini Stadium here in Parma. Well, 0-0 the score at half-time. Liam, your thoughts?
Well, I think I have to say what's been said by Joe and by Peter. It's been quite a disappointing game. I think it often happens here when a game has been built up like this game has. Two teams at the top of the table. Sometimes it can be a bit of a disappointment. It's a very tactical, very physical game.
Zola, there was a lot of talk about him before the game, but he's been little in evidence so far.
Well, Baresi and Costa Curta have been very quick to close him down, and he hasn't had much opportunity to get passes to Asprilla. We really could do with Parma scoring a goal and having Milan to come out and play then.
And can I trouble you for a prediction on this second half?
Well, I think Parma can just edge it. Maybe a free kick from Zola.
OK, well, we'll hand back now to our commentators, Joe Jordan and Peter Brackley.
Thank you, James. Almost ready then for the start of the second half. And certainly the first 45 minutes almost devoid of genuine opportunities for either side. And then I suppose, Joe, really down to the way that Milan have approached this game.
Yeah, I think they've approached it, taking into consideration that the players that they have off through injury and suspension. I think they've come for a draw. I think they'll continue to play the same way. I don't see anyone on the bench at this particular moment who could change the game for them. I think a draw would be what they wanted.
Well, we have Melli, of course, on the bench for Parma, an Italian international striker, so it may well be that Fabio Scala will introduce him at some stage in the second half in a bid to pep up Parma's attacking options. And also in his mind, I'm sure, will be the recent game against Juventus when it was 0-0 with 10 minutes to go, and Parma struck twice in the last 10 minutes. A similar sort of game, really. Very tight contest. Parma now then attacking from left to right. And let's hope they can do plenty of it in the second half. This is Sensini. Apolloni. Now Asprilla. Here's Zola. Ran straight into a posse of Milan defenders then. Rolling with the pass. Now Di Chiara, can he get away from Panucci? Did well then, the young defender, to deprive him of an opening. He's made a lot of useful sorties down that flank, Di Chiara.
Yeah, and Panucci's his hand throw, but I have been impressed with it. For a lad at 20 years of age to be playing in this sort of atmosphere and conducting himself the way he has done. He's a player certainly for the future.
Certainly an international in the making, Panucci. There's Zola. And off the line. Rossi was on his goal line. I think the whistle had gone anyway. I would think for a foul by Minotti. But Rossi was almost embarrassed there. He has a little shove by Minotti. Rossi, who's had relatively little to do so far. There is Panucci, who was on the bench for the Italian senior match against Portugal. Didn't come on, but clearly is in the thinking already of Arrigo Sacchi, watching from the stands today, the coach of the Italian national team. Benarivo, another man hoping to be on the plane to the States for the World Cup finals. Mapan failing to reach it. Here's Minotti. Now Apolloni. Sensini making his home debut then for Parma today. Thought he missed the boat when Balbo and Del Anno were released by Udinese. Udinese electing to hold on to Sensini, but now he's got his dream move to one of the big clubs. And at the moment, you certainly have to categorise Parma as a big club. Another rash tackle by Apolloni this time. goes Donadoni. The game still littered with fouls. So much at stake up at the top of Serie A. Bonucci. Cross in towards Massaro. And that will be Bucci's. I don't think he's in a shot to save yet, Joe, is he?
No, he hasn't. He's just did a couple of things that have been passed back to him and a couple of crosses, and that's as far as his involvement's been this afternoon so far.
Baresi. Bonucci. This is Laudrup. Now Donadoni. Foul by Minotti. Already cautioned, remember, Minotti. Donadoni. Found Orlando. Too long though for Massaro. A direct approach this time from Bucci's long kick. Well controlled too by Asprilla. Until he was countered by Maldini. Legally though. Rolling. Parma though getting themselves in a tangle. Off goes Donadoni. And he was tripped then needlessly by Brolin. That had to be another yellow card. Foolish challenge by Brolin. Tapping at his heels. Signori has scored a second goal for Lazio to add to the earlier one from Fuser. So it's now Lazio 2, Genoa 0. All the scores, of course, results from Serie A at the end of the programme. We've got time. The late kick-off today. Serrato. Asprilla. Foul by Costa Curta. It's one foul after another. The second half really hasn't settled down at all. He's having a rough old time today, Asprilla.
Yes, Pierre. There's not really been too many bad fouls, but you know the yellow cards are accumulating, and really it's just an indication of the way the game is. You know, it's just been stopped, and it's been premeditated as well. I mean, if the players know that an incident and they're pulling down a player, they're preventing that player from creating something for either himself or his colleague.
Well, Milan won't create anything that way. Breakdown in communication. Massaro with the wayward pass. They haven't really been effective at all going forward, Milan. Just happy to soak up Parma's pressure, which today has lacked a cutting edge. But maybe they're in now. Asprilla! Oh, great goalkeeping by Rossi, and steered wide. Zola has missed the chance to give Parma the lead. Asprilla was onside as he sprinted through. Heroics from Rossi, but oh, Zola should have scored.
Well, I think that was the very first time that Rossi had something to do. What a marvellous interception there. But Zola, he'll be absolutely fuming he's not tucked that way, because that is the sort of incident, given us a goal, that could have really changed the pattern of the game.
Well, it's left to the crowd for all their disappointment. Parma fans in great voice now. And Zola with a gaping net to aim at. Somehow guided it wide. Zola of all people. Fabulous goalkeeping by Rossi, who was so alert then to the danger. Massaro. Desai. Maybe this will raise the game, I'm not sure too now. Orlando. Laudrup. Bonucci in support outside him. Here's Bonucci now. Feeling in vain for the foul. Serrato for Parma. Good anticipation by Donadoni this time. That'll be a free kick. Actually, just looking back on that incident at the other end, in fairness to Asprilla, it wasn't a bad first touch, it was just Rossi's anticipation that was so good.
Yes, I think it was. I mean, Rossi's out at the edge of the box to make the challenge. I mean, he's read the situation. the player was onside. He wasn't taking any chances.
Donadoni with the free kick.
And when you got a goalkeeper in that position, you've got to be so careful. You've got to be correct in your judgment. You go for the ball, and he did everything right, because if he didn't, it could either have been a goal or quite possibly bringing someone down in that position. He could have got a red card.
Well, they've got so many good outfield players, Milan. You don't hear too much about Rossi, but I tell you what, he's been a model of consistency for them, and he has certainly kept them in this game with that save from Asprilla. Rolling to Zarato. A little more vitality and zest about Parma now. Bonucci was in the way. Here's Desai. It's an excellent pass by him. Finding Laudrup. Papin's in the middle. Still Laudrup. Away from Menotti. And Massaro turns away in disgust. If only Laudrup could have found him, that surely would have been a goal then for Milan. Fantastic pace by Laudrup. That was the final pass that let him down. Zola. Another crunching tackle by Baresi.
But that action we've seen from Laudrup is the best from that individual, and I would say possibly the best piece of football that Milan have played this afternoon. It was just a final ball that let him down from creating a great opportunity for Massaro.
Zola almost releasing Asprilla. Up comes that Milan back line, and up goes the offside flag to deny Zola. Asprilla, in fact, was the player called offside. Papin. Sizzling atmosphere in the stadium. And what a difference a goal would make, certainly for Parma. It's a record attendance today for Parma, incidentally, 28,803. Record gate receipts to accompany that large attendance. Capello's team rather fortunate not to be a goal down, but then Laudrup might have conjured up one at the other end for them. And Capello will be relieved to see Papin back on his feet. Not too much striking potential on the bench for Milan today. Two defenders and two midfield players, along with substitute goalkeeper Yelpo. Apollone's header has only found Massaro. Laudrup. Now, can he outsmart Chiara again? Desai to Donadoni. Glorious skill by Donadoni, and then close it down sharply. Hasn't scored yet this season, Donadoni. Foul by Costa Curta on Asprilla. He's won a few matches without a goal now, Asprilla, after that hat-trick against Torino. He's managed only one more since. But remains the major threat to Milan. Benarivo. Our friend on the PA is getting very excited now. Baresi happy to shepherd it back to Rossi. Orlando. Little brush with Benarivo. Watchful eye from the referee. Zola, cut out by Baresi. Always looks so cool and composed, Baresi. Not from the occasional one-on-one when he gets a bit ruffled sometimes. Now, they're offside here. Laudrup away from one tackle, slipped on to Massaro. Tremendous save by Bucci. Papin looking aggrieved in the middle. He wanted a service set from Massaro, who chose to go alone. maybe will feel now he made the wrong option. Joe?
Oh, I think when you get as near as that, he's set himself up, he's taking that extra pace, and I think the goalkeeper's pulled off a marvellous save.
He's looking at that again on the replay. I wouldn't have thought Papat was in a position to take too much advantage. Oh, the keeper lost it then. Lost his concentration. I think it was Benarivo who cleared. Bucci was totally stranded there. Here's Zola. Rounded by Costa Curta. You can't believe he has been penalised. I think he might have a case there, Joe.
Yeah, again,
hard to tell.
Again, I think he's a little bit unfortunate here. The same as the one that was about 2 or 3 minutes ago. I think it was similar circumstances and the decision's gone against him.
Well, at least we're getting some activity around the penalty boxes now. Zola with the free kick. Minotti has come forward from the back. Driven through. Asprilla offside. Wouldn't have counted anyway. Oh, spun it in. Yeah. The linesman was absolutely right. Salenzi has struck again for Torino. 2 goals for him today, the leading scorer in Serie A so far this season. Now with 11, that's Torino 2, Lecce 0. Lecce, the bottom club with all sorts of problems down at the wrong end of the table. Torino up in 5th place. Remember, one match being played tonight, Inter against Juventus, and you can see that one, highlights anyway, from the San Siro. That's in Mezzanotte on Tuesday night at 1:15 midnight. Donato's header, and Baresi for Milan. Forward by Brolin. Asprilla on the chase. Good defending by Maldini.
Well, Maldini today, we've seen him, what a marvellous defender he has. But what we haven't seen is what else he's got to his game, which is good going forward. He's got great pace, strength, quality on the ball, but we've never seen that.
That was a good pass from by Maldini. Donadoni. Apparently showing a little more ambition in the second half, Milan. Desai. Laudrup. The pace to unhinge any defence. He's certainly been a menacing figure in the second half, in particular for Milan, as Brian Laudrup. Up goes Baresi. Maldini to plot it forward. But not too far, it's Minotti for Parma, now then to Sensini. Sampdoria are back in front at home to Cremonese. Ruud Gullit with the second goal to add to the earlier one from David Platt. Lizotti having scored in between for Cremonese. It's Sampdoria 2, Cremonese 1. Di Chiara for Parma. Brolin having to chase. With just the one defeat in Serie A this season, way to Sampdoria. This is Orlando. Good interception by Sensini. Crepa. Free kick given to Parma. The foul on Crepa. I think Laudrup just left his leg trailing then. And good playing by Rossi. Sensini involved. Huge towering figure, Rossi. And a very commanding one, too, for Milan this season. Liam Brady, what have you made of the second half so far?
Well, it's been much better than the first half, Peter. We had some real chances. Zola's had a great chance. And just before him, Asprilla, I actually disagree with what you said. I thought his first touch let him down, and he gave Rossi the chance to get off his line. Rossi's been particularly good coming off his line. Laudrup has also come into the game. He's gone past Apolloni a couple of times, and it was a great ball in from Massaro, and a good strike, and as Joe said, it was a real good save. So a much better second half.
OK, Liam, talk to you later. Lost the quarter, almost in trouble as Asprilla threatened. It's now Piacenza 3, Foggia 3, a second goal for the Dutch international Brian Roy. Piacenza 3, Foggia 3. Brolin, speculative shot. He has scored in the last couple of games, Brolin, having failed to net one in the first couple of months of the season. Player of the tournament, of course, in the European Championship finals, Brolin, when he played for the host nation, Sweden. Also, Foggia are down to 10 men in that game. Piacenza 3, Foggia 3. So it's a very eventful afternoon. Laudrup coming more and more into this game now, Brian Laudrup. Beginning to believe in himself a lot more. Maldini. Massaro has got a touch on there, with Papin hovering behind him. Zola, Asprilla. Roar of anticipation around the ground from the Parma fans. Asprilla with the cross. Donadoni's header. And it falls into the path of Baresi, who rather un-Milan-like hoists it up towards Papin. Massaro. Baresi. With the strength then to hold off the challenge. Dichiara back in possession for Parma. Minotti. Yes, Jose Chamot, the Argentine, has been sent off for Foggia. So the R&D playing with 10 men in that 3-3 draw. Brolin. Forward by Apolloni to Crippa. Minotti. Parma endeavouring to retain their patience in their efforts to break Milan down. Benarivo, who hasn't had much success down this right flank in an attacking role anyway. Well, this won't surprise you. It's now Piacenza 4, Foggia 3. Torini. Piacenza 4, Foggia 3. Still 0-0 here. And it's Panucci for Milan. Donadoni. Orlando. I think we're at the wrong game today. Piacenza 4, Foggia 4. Capellini for Foggia. Desai, great strike off the post. Oh, what a let-off then for Parma. And in particular for Bucci. Desai really let it fly there. Bucci got his hands to it, but could only deflect it onto a post. Relief among the Parma fans. Desai is so close to his first goal for Milan.
It was a marvellous strike there, and it was equalled by a marvellous save, Peter. And as you say, Desai nearly opened his account there, and really it was one that it merited. But you got to hand it to the goalkeeper. He made the save, and he had a little bit of luck. The ball came straight back into his hands. But sometimes like you're looking to find someone like Papin.
Maldini.
You're looking to find someone like Papin following it up, but that in that occasion, luck was with the goalkeeper.
Here's that strike again from Desai. We were actually saying at half-time he hadn't contributed too much in an attacking sense, but he's certainly beginning to now in the second half.
Yeah, Desai, he is a defender, and he's a defender who's playing in the middle of the field, but he has shown his quality on the ball. He is very comfortable, he's got a good touch, but I would say that his strong qualities are as a defender, but we've just seen there that he's not fighting to have a shot at goals.
Papa. Gripper wasn't happy with the tackle, but the referee was. Donadoni. Really haven't seen too much of Papa, but we're certainly seeing plenty of Brian Laudrup now. Here he is again. Didn't find Massaro, thanks to the anticipation of Sensini. Maldini could spell this for Milan. Donadoni. Parma's turn to be pinned back on the defensive. Maldini to Donadoni. Massaro had made his run, and he made it just too soon.
I think, Peter, looking at the game in the last 10 minutes, it's turned a little bit. You know what we've got now?
Tell you what, he wasn't offside there, was he?
No, I think the left fullback's played him on. But as I was saying, I think the game's just altered a little bit. Milan are the team that's coming out and pressing a little bit, and they're the ones that could get caught on the counter-attack by Parma, you know, whereas in the first half it was the exact opposite. Now we have a situation where Milan are just pressing and forcing the game a little bit more than they did.
Benarivo. Up by Asprilla. Must have cut her away. Here's Crippa, the former Napoli player, trying to link with Di Chiara, who was converted to a fullback from a winger in his Fiorentina days. Forward by Minotti to Crippa. Di Chiara. 20 minutes to go. Good block by Costa Curta initially. Helped out by Laudrup. He's having a good second half. It's a hat-trick now for Salenzi of Torino. Torino leading Lecce by 3-0, all three from Andrea Salenzi, taking his tally for the season to 12. Zerato. Desai. Fell by Papan on Brolin. Certainly wasn't there. Crippa. Di Chiara. Well-timed intervention though by Panucci. Capello will be looking upon Panucci as an excellent acquisition from Genoa. I was taught that Benarivo of Parma might have been taken up by Milan, but he went for Panucci instead. Gerato. Berlin. Sensini to pump it forward again. Away by Maldini this time. Papan's challenge. Orlando. Now, did he keep that in? What about the option of bringing on Melli? Joe, do you think that might happen soon?
Yes, I think so. I think Melli is a player that we all know that has got a proven goal-scoring record. I think Asprilla, he's had a lone battle up front. I think he could do with a little bit of a hand. I think that Milan they've closed it up in the middle of the park, and I think a little bit of help and support for Asprilla could maybe create and give the difference which Parma required.
Well, he will certainly have to make a substitution. I doubt it's the one he would wanted to have made. Scala, the injury to Di Chiara. I think it's Balleri he wants to bring on. Indeed it is. David Balleri. It's had just a one start this season for Parma, so some switching around to do. Liam Brady, any thoughts on the possibility of bringing Melli on soon?
Well, it is an option that Scala has, but I don't know. We were saying earlier on that neither side want to lose this game, and I don't think Scala will be too unhappy at the moment, Peter.
And he has switched Benarivo to the left flank, with Balleri starting in on the right in Benarivo's place. Baresi. Lando. Here's Donadoni. Desai.
You've got Benarivo on that far side, Peter, and he has played there. I think he's played there for his country as well, but he is going to be confronted by Laudrup, who, as we know, has emerged in the second half and is in on form, and I'll be interested to see whether he can get the better of the player that's come across.
Donadoni. Sticking to his task well, then Donadoni. Costa Curta. Now Panucci. Rolled into Papa. Cheekily through the legs of Zerato. Here's Laudrup. Now going to get a cross in from here. Just too long for Massaro. Goal for Signori today. Lazio will in control against Genoa. They now lead 3-0. Fuser with the other goal. Poor old Silenzi has had one of his rubbed off. They've decided it's an own goal now, as they are apt to do in Italy, so it's only 2 for Silenzi. No change in the score. It's still Torino leading Lecce by 3-0. If you lose a few goals that way, Joe?
Well, I tell you what, they don't give anything away over there, especially in the goal count. If there's
Asprilla whipping over the cross.
Even a slight defection, it goes to the opposition as an OG.
And we got a glimpse there of Di Chiara. Let's hope that injury isn't too serious. They will certainly miss him, Parma, with his marauding sorties down the left flank. Zerato in the anchor roll. This is Balleri. Now Brolin. Minotti. Benarivo. Well, his first venture forward down the left flank, and it almost brought success. Benarivo, who won his first cap for Italy against Estonia a short while ago, and has featured ever since. Brolin. Intelligent pass too, picking out Crippa. Asprilla has pulled off his marker there. Brolin. But no one had gone that way.
I'd be disappointed with that. I don't know who he was trying to pick out with that ball. There was no one even in the area that it could have been meant for.
Laudrup. Maldini to Orlando. Now Donadoni. Desai. White to Panucci. Maldini. Massaro. He was within striking range, but the sting taken off the shot by that deflection. Balleri to Zerato. Another man who's been capped by Italy, Zerato. Di Chiara, in fact, was the first to win an Italian cap from a Parma team. Now Now Baresi's got away well down the right, and it was Panucci who had to clear away for the corner. Zola with the kick. And the danger passes without too much anguish in the Milan penalty box, although the repercussions are going on. A few discussions among those defenders. Milan is ever so well organised at the back, with Baresi calling the shots. Free header for Zarato. The jump into by Sensini. Brolin. Valeri. Signed from second division Cosenza in the close season. Valeri. Piacenza 5, Foggia 4. So the goal still coming in that game. Torini has got the latest goal there. And that for Piacenza. You can see them all, of course, in Gazzetta on Saturday morning with Paul Gascoigne at 11 o'clock. Minotti, and just for a moment then a hit that Laudrup might have got away from him. But here's Benarivo as Parma pull forward again. Minotti to Brolin. Tucking it wide to Valeri, who scored a spectacular goal in one of the cup ties earlier in the season. No chance of Brolin scoring from there, though, not like that. With 10 minutes to go. Frustration setting in for Parma.
Yeah, when he was addressing that ball there to come up, I thought he was just going to bend it in there. The Milan defence had come out to the 18-yard box, but there was a possibility of someone like Asprilla coming in if the weight of the pass had been correct, but totally wasted.
Papin laying it back to Panucci. Lazio have scored again against Genoa, and it's that man Signori once more. That's a hat-trick for him today. Lazio 4, Genoa 0. Still no Paul Gascoigne, at least I think not, out through injury. Valeri. Brolin. The latest word on Gazza is that he hopes to return in a week or so if he can get his place in the team. He's penciled in for the game at Atalanta, or against Atalanta next week. But I wouldn't think his selection now is automatic, especially with Boksic being signed from Marseille. Goals just about everywhere in Serie A today, apart from this one.
Yeah, and it doesn't look as if we're going to get one, Peter. I think that the only thing that could turn this maybe is a set piece. Someone like Zola.
Well, there is Zola now. Asprilla involved in a wrestling match with Costa Curta. Crippa. Melli is warming up to cheers from the Parma fans. Melli, who is rather disgruntled at being left out of the side. Maybe he's going to get his chance for the last 10 minutes or so. Zola's free kick. 4-1 though. A hat-trick too for Fonseca, the Uruguayan. That's against Reggiana. 3-0, Napoli lead Reggiana. All three from Fonseca. Two hat-tricks and one disputed one. Solenzi denied his. One of the goals now given as an own goal. And Ruhulic has got his second for Sampdoria. They lead Cremonese by 3-1. Zola. Again, who was there? Baresi, Commander-in-Chief. And he's had another outstanding game at the back for Milan. You keep telling me, Joe, he's losing a bit of pace at the back, but when you read the game as well as he does, it doesn't seem to matter.
No, I think he's been exceptional today, not only in his own particular game, but covering for other people, talking to other people, giving instructions, keeping the line as neat and as precise as it has to be, so that players like Asprilla, with the pace that they have got, when they do make the run, they are offside. And to be honest, I think if Parma are going to get more than 1 point out of that, I think they have got to make a change and alter their pattern of play. Because at the moment, I think the Milan defence are coping quite easily with it.
There's only been one draw in the past meetings between these two in Serie A over the last 3 years or so. That was the very first meeting. Cut out by Brolin. Free kick given to Milan.
That was a good decision by the referee. I think initially he was going to let the game flow and give them the benefit, but it broke down, so he gave possession to Milan. The correct decision.
Free kick given this time against Serato. For the lunge at Donadoni. (5-4) Piacenza lead Foggia, who are now down to 9 men. They've had 2 sent off now. Five minutes to go. Desai linking with Massaro. Donadoni, how hard he has worked for Milan today. Baresi. Out by Sensini, helped on then by Zerato, then Zola's flick. Here's Crippa. Valeri. Parma, of course, will stay ahead of Milan on goal difference if it stays this way. But Sampdoria, if they win, will climb above both teams. Massaro. Tackled Parma players in pursuit. He was going nowhere, really, Massaro. Here's Menotti. Asprilla on the burst. Shadowed though by Costa Curta. Maybe wanted Rossi to come for that one.
I think one aspect of the game I've got to look at, maybe in some ways it's taken from the game, but in other ways it's something I think people have got to appreciate. I think both teams, when they have lost possession, whether it's Parma or Milan, they've tried to retrieve the situation right away by pressing, by working, by closing people down. And you've got quality players here who are expected and are willing to do it. And both teams have done, and I think that's really one of the reasons why the game hasn't flowed the way that maybe we would have liked it, but that's the way the game is played now, whether it's in Italy or in England or wherever. And I think that is one of the reasons why the games have been closed up.
This is Benarivo for Parma. Still time for either side to clinch it. The tall, angular figure of Rossi plucking it out of the air. 3 minutes to go. Parma 0, Milan 0. The top two in Serie A, at least they are for the moment. Donadoni, one of the Milan players down injured now. Papan, I think. He's had another quiet game, really, isn't he, Papan?
Yes, he has. I don't think up front the partnership has worked too well for him, but really I think you've got to take into consideration what Milan have come here for. They've come here to get, as far as I can see, they've come here to get a draw and maybe try and nick it and get a goal from someone like Papan, but it's not really worked today. I don't think they've given the ideal service. He's not really had one, well, he hasn't had one chance, and he's not even had one opportunity to go for. In the second half, we've had one or two things from Laudrup, but nothing's really fallen for Papan at all.
Well, maybe an opportunity will come the way of Melli, Alessandro Melli, who has now come on very late in the day. And much too late, I'm sure, for his liking. He's very aggrieved that he has been out of favour, having, he felt, shown his loyalty to Parma by staying with them when he could have gone to maybe one of the Milan clubs or Juventus. I think everyone was interested in taking him on. Stayed with Parma, but hasn't featured in the first choice lineup. Of course, with the World Cup looming, that hasn't gone down too well with Arrigo Sacchi, the coach. His prospects of a regular place in the national team have diminished as well. Crippa. Zola it was who went off. This is Brolin. Too long for Melli. Crippa's off after it. So too there, though, was Panucci. Now Laudrup. 90 minutes are almost up. Donadoni just flicking it on towards Baresi. Brolin stabs it wide. Crippa into the danger zone where Melli was hoping. Brolin straight at Massaro. Milan having to defend pretty desperately now. Apolloni. Foul on Brolin. The 90 minutes almost up. We'll be into time added on for stoppages pretty shortly now. Zorato. Hit by Crippa towards Asprilla. Now Melli. How quickly then he was confronted by Milan defenders. Massaro hoping to launch a counter-attack for Milan. Donadoni. Orlando in support. Papan down the middle. Donadoni won't go for that one. Sensini. We're into injury time. Crippa. A game of so few chances. Surely one goal will settle it now if either team can prize one. Orlando. Donadoni. This is Brolin. Then Arrivo. Melli couldn't reach it. All could Asprilla. There's Brolin with the shot. And Rossi happy to watch it sail past his post. Brolin, who's not really had a decent strike at goal today. Another late substitution is to waste a few more seconds. Carbone about to come on for Laudrup. Joe Jordan, your thoughts looking back on the match?
Well, as a spectacle, we're all looking forward to. It's been a bit of a disappointment, you know, get two of the top teams in Italy. But I think we've got to look at the other aspect of it. You know, I think you've got to appreciate what was at stake for both of them. Defensively, I think both teams have played exceptionally well. I think we've seen why both teams have conceded so few goals. And there we have Franco Baresi demonstrates one of the reasons why. But overall, it's not been a very exciting game. But tactically, I think it's been favourable to Milan. The points have been shared, and I think that is fair as well. And at the end of the day, I don't think both managers will be too unhappy about the way things are going. They still stay in the positions that they had before the start of the day.
Absorbing contest, but a little short on flair this afternoon. As the final whistle is blown, it's finished 0-0 between the top two. So few chances, really. Massaro certainly had one for Milan, well saved by Bucci, who pushed the ball onto a post. And at the other end, well, first Asprilla And then Zola, who steered the ball wide of an open goal. That's really just about the shape of it, though, in terms of chances created by the two teams. Let's go back to Liam Brady and James Richardson.
Okay. Oh, hello there. Right, well, Liam, 0-0 at the end here after 90 minutes. What do you reckon?
Well, I think Joe said it was a disappointing spectacle, but you have to say Milan came for a draw, and they got the draw. The defence was absolutely outstanding, led by Baresi. And I thought Serie playing in the centre of the field was very, very good, considering it's only his second game. But it's opened up the championship, hasn't it? Sampdoria have won today, and they've gone top of the table, so it's all augurs well for the future.
Would you have brought Melli on earlier?
Well, maybe, but as I said during commentary, that Scala was happy with the draw as well.
Okay, well, we'll hand back now to Peter Brackley. There's been a real goals bonanza around Serie A, so let's hear from Peter with the rest of the Serie A results.
Yes, certainly a lot of high scoring elsewhere. Cagliari 1, Roma 1, Lazio 4, Genoa 0. A hat-trick there for Signori. All 3 goals in the second half for him. Napoli have scored 5 at home to Reggiana. Fonseca with 3, Di Canio and Busi with the 5th goal there. Piacenza 5, Foggia 4. Piovani, Ferrante, Ferrazzoli and Turini with 2 for Piacenza. Roy got a couple for Foggia, Stropper and Capolini. Chamot was sent off, and also Capolini dismissed towards the end. Final score there, Piacenza 5, Foggia 4. Sampdoria 3, Cremonese 1. David Platt with the first goal, then 2 from Ruud Gullit, and that takes Sampdoria to the top of the table. De Zotti with a lone reply for Cremonese. Torino have beaten Lecce, the bottom club, by 3-0, 2 from Silenzi and an own goal there. And it's Udinese 0, Atalanta 0. The match tonight, which you can see on Tuesday night on Mezzanotte, Inter against Juventus. So at the top of the table, Sampdoria now joining Parma and Milan. And Juventus down there in 4th place. They play tonight, remember. Torino on 16. Lazio back in the frame now after their big win today. And Napoli and Inter also there. Top scorer, Silenzi, 2 from him today, 2 also from Ruud Gullit. Baggio, well, maybe he'll get 1 tonight. That's it then from Joe Jordan and myself, Peter Brackley. Until the next time, goodbye for now.
Starting with 2 of the 3 games champions Manchester United have played.
Aston Villa taking the game to Manchester United in these opening minutes. This is Parker, struck it well, always rising above Schmeichel's crossbar, and the United keeper looked to have it covered. Perhaps a foot too high. Kanchelskis, supported by Paul Parker, who finds him wide on the right. Now it needs a good cross. Cantona, off the post, and away by McGrath. The Frenchman so close to opening the scoring for Manchester United, and what a good deep cross by Kanchelskis. Villa saved by the thickness of the post. Well, Barrett's been given a real handful of a job trying to stay close to Cantona. Knocked on then by Atkinson. This is Saunders with his back to goal. Away by Bruce, but only as far as Saunders. Wasn't a difficult save for Schmeichel, and maybe better than a half-decent chance for Dean Saunders, who perhaps had more time than he took. Kevin Richardson to Earl Barrett. Oh, dispossessed by the aggressive Hughes. Shot blocked. Ince got a foot on it. This is sharp. And Cantona couldn't quite get tall enough. Kanchelskis, supported by Parker, and United are swarming all over them. Keane, oh, he took it wonderfully on his chest. Cantona, 1-0. The Frenchman opens the scoring with 21 minutes gone, and surely he wants to thank Roy Keane. What a terrific bit of skill by the Irishman. Took it on his chest, and then into the 6-yard box. There was at least one deflection. Cantona's 11th of the season. And maybe it was the deflections which prevented Paul McGrath from clearing. Another attendance at Old Trafford of 44,500. Already 640,000 have watched 15 games here this season. A good deep kick by Schmeichel, which small miss. This is Kanchelskis. Players arriving in the box in number. Hughes over the top.